And hello, we are live. So hello everyone, I hope to see you here. We are going to wait a couple of seconds because our notification should be going out soon that I'm going live. Make sure you guys are perfect. It just went out, the notification, so hopefully we'll have a few others joining in just a few moments here. We are going to be talking, today's episode is going to be about 10 things I wish I knew before I'd started my Disney college program experience back in 2016. So today is going to be a fun experience. I'm excited to share it with all of you. And if you guys do have social media, make sure you guys share out the stream here and make sure you click the like button to share with all of our Disney friends. And if you know anyone who was a college program cast member or was an alumni, make sure you guys are hanging out with me. Again, my name is Caitlin. I am here to walk you through the DCP journey in a smaller format for those of you who aren't here. So let's go ahead and say hello to people in the chat. We're going to do a chat check. I can't seem to put everything out for the life of me. So we're going to start out. We have Mr. James here. We say hello. I'm just going to move my screen here so I can at least see. There we go. James, welcome to the little chat that could. I love that. Thank you, James. I love you. And we have Keith, big Disney fan. Hello, nice to see you. I didn't get to see your mod meeting, but I will watch the replay here. I've been pretty busy. My work has been slamming me as of recently. And make sure you guys are sharing out the stream for other DisneyTube friends. So make sure you guys are sharing the news with others in the Disney community. That way we can show you guys that we're here. We have Jeffrey Resendez. Hello, thanks for being here. It looks like it's the only person. We got a surprise visit from Allie. Hey.
Hello.
Hey. How are you?
Sleepy.
Sleepy? I don't go to
bed at 7.
What?
Got up at 7, then went back to bed.
I didn't know you were up at 7 either.
Yeah.
This is new information.
Hello.
Keith says hello. Oh, and say hello to Bloom and Cheese and thanks for joining. James, Allie says nice to see you, and he says sorry about your cruise.
Oh, yeah, that happened.
Hey, we got G&G Explorers. Hello, nice to see you all. Make sure you guys are sharing this out on social media so we can have other Disney friends, especially others that have done the Disney college program before. We are talking all college. No worries. Allie's going to say bye and let me do my stream as we all do. We are going to go into our 10 things that I wish I knew before our Disney college program experience. Now, guys, if you guys watched throughout the comments series, some of my college program cast members, as well as my DCP friends from my program, might be popping in through the live chat and sharing their opinions, or some of them have been messaging or going to message me with things they want to add. A lot of my college program friends have done multiple programs or did it for the first time with me. Jeffrey, Allie, I will say for Allie, she says hello as well to you. But thanks to G Explorers for being here. I know who sent you, and that's probably Rachel, so I appreciate that. And Derek and Greg, both of you, appreciate what you guys have done. Unfortunately, my cruise got canceled with Allie, but we're trying to figure out the phase of if we're rebooking, and hopefully it'll be good. Say hello to MGM Family Travel. Hey, guys, thanks for being here. If you guys are just popping in, make sure you guys all like this video to tell YouTube that you like it, especially since this is a college program video. I want to help future casts that are coming back into the Disney college program this fall. Hopefully, we haven't heard anything from Disney in terms of college programs being a go, but they haven't told anything otherwise. So they're continuing on their college program, so I want to give them a little bit of help along the way that I wish I knew before my program back in 2016. And I see we have, let's see. And we have Past Polar Pair. Hello. Make sure you guys are sharing this out to social media so that way you have some friends over. Came over from Monarch Moments. Well, thanks to Monarch Moments who sent people over. I appreciate that. G&G Explorer says there's a lot of pain going on with cruising. Yes, it's a lot of pain, and we already paid for airfare and a hotels at that point because it was like only a month away, or a little bit over a month away. So it was really frustrating to have them cancel on us, especially after we did all that, but that's okay. All right, guys. I'm going to put in the chat. I'm going to start off with the basics since a lot of you probably don't know what the Disney College Program is, and I wanted to explain it to you guys in a basic format that'll help all of you understand what my Disney College Program journey was like, because a lot of you may have not known what it is unless you've been to the parks before. So Disney College Program is a program meant for college students and international students that come to Walt Disney World or Disneyland in California and basically do either 4 months to, or a few months, 3 months to up to 6 months at Disney World. Now they can extend their programs for up to a year, but they cannot stay past a year. And to give you an idea, you cannot do any more than 3 college programs for your entire college career. This does include anything like culinary school, grad school, and we've had some older adults who have done the college program as well. So it's for everyone, and I kind of wanted to share with you a lot of what happens. And I'm loving what you guys are saying in the chat. I have my chat popped out on the sides. That way I can kind of get to your names ahead of time. It's got to wait for that a little bit because it doesn't catch up on StreamYard as quickly. Everyone's saying hi to each other. I'm just making sure I'm not fixing that. MGM family travel. I don't know what you mean by did you fix the light? I don't know if that's to somebody else. And we got Life with Roxana. Hey, nice to see you here. We are going to be, for those of you who are just popping in, we are going to talk about 10 things I wish I knew before my college program experience. And Roxana was also a college program alumni. So Roxana, if you have anything to add to the list after this, feel free to answer in the comments and we'll share it throughout the stream. For a lot of my cast family might be joining us via chat or sending us things through social media. And if that does happen, I will. So we're going to start with this, and all of my college program list is not in order. So keep that in mind. This is all basic things that I wish I knew before my college program. And that would help. For a future college program that are coming in, especially these fall kids who are kind of in limbo of whether their programs are a go or they're going to have to get canceled, like June fall advantage program. So anyone who had a program arrival date from end of April through mid-June into July got their programs canceled. So anyone with a mid-July date through, I believe, the mid of September, they are still a go at this point. Internationals, we have no idea about them because obviously it's up to the government about that one, but we'll see about that. So without further ado, is everyone ready to get started? I need thumbs up in the chat to know if you guys are ready to go to start this top 10 list. Sorry, I'm just waiting to see you. Thanks, James, for opening it or saying hello to everyone. I need thumbs up in the chat, everyone, if you guys are ready to go. Because buckle your seatbelts. We are in for a wild ride. Because DCP, man, it is a wild journey for everyone who's been in it. And Roxana can probably attest to me on that one. It is quite a wild journey. So we got Roxana says yes. Pass holder pair says yes. James Ryan says let's do it. We got thumbs up from Big Disney fan Keith. We got MGM Family Travel saying good. All right, D&G Explorer says we're ready. Alrighty, let's go. So my list is not in order, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to go from there, and we're going to kind of add this to it, and make sure you guys are sharing this on social media or where you find people that might be interested. If you have anyone who's interested in doing the college program, make sure you send them to this video. It'll be really helpful for them if they become into the program. So 10 things, and I created a list here so I wouldn't forget. So my first thing on my list about my college program that I wish I knew is how quickly I made a family down there. So quickly that sometimes it's overwhelming to think about. And let me clarify this. So when you work for Disney, your training goes around, I would say around 2.5 weeks. And it depends per role. And depends on the role that you're in and what location you're in, because other locations could have more training than original. But when you are in training, everyone's so friendly towards you. They want you to be experienced. They want you to be in that space. My leaders and coordinators were one of the first people that said, "Hey, we're here to support you. We're here to help you succeed throughout this program. And if you need extra training or you need extra help, like, don't feel free to ask." Because it's like, we rather see you have more time on your hands before you go on stage by yourself. And this is something that's so fun for me to share with people, because I want people to know that you guys are going to gain tons of friends and a cast family while you're on your program. Some of my favorite coordinators and leaders I still talk to today via social media, and checking in with them throughout my time. Some of them still work for the company at the time, and I always like to check in, see how my home is doing since I've been away. And that's something that's really treasuring, and a lot of people don't expect that when you do your program. So number one, you make a family so fast while you're down there. And MGM Family Travel says, our daughter starts college in the fall, so we would love for her to do it. MGM Family Travel, just to give you a heads up of what she needs to know, if she is interested of doing the program, I fully recommend for her to do her full freshman year of college, just because I didn't know how to pick it up after I got back from school. I did it my second semester freshman year, and it didn't necessarily work out too well. So I highly recommend that she does her full first year of school, kind of gets a routine and finds out what's best for her, and make sure that works for you. If she does want to do her freshman year, she can only apply during her first semester of college. So she won't be able to go until the spring of that year. So if she starts this fall, she won't be able to do a program until next spring, but she can apply in the fall, if that makes sense. Laughing for Roxana says, my coordinators were awesome. Coordinators are typically awesome. It's usually the leaders that are hit and miss. James says, I just had $2, finished college, and move on to grad school. It's a neat journey as a parent. I agree. Well, I'm not a parent, but I agree about the college journey. All right. We are going to go into number 2. And number 2, buckle your seatbelts, because this is something that has gone over on Twitter and all the social media about college program life. And Roxana can attest with me on these. And number 2, the dreaded statement that I have to unfortunately say to future CPs is that be ready to wait for buses for a long time. Now, for those of you who have been normal guests and have no idea what I'm talking about, Disney College Program used to use a program called Transtar to transport all of their college program students, as well as their international college programs, and also cultural representative programs that have been here more than 6 months. Typically works from a year to 2 years. Recently, though, they've changed to TransDev. However, these buses are known to break down. They are known to be really warm with barely any air conditioning. You will typically wait on a bus from anywhere from, if you're lucky, 30 minutes to about 2.5 hours. Now, the worst part is if you work in Magic Kingdom, and Roxanne, I don't know if this was true during your program, but comment below if you do. If you're working in Magic Kingdom and your shift gets off right before fireworks start, you have to wait until fireworks are off and the fire marshals have cleared the roads before any buses can travel through. So if you're on the A or B bus, which takes you to Magic Kingdom, you cannot leave until the fireworks are done, which is awful. My program, I was in Disney Springs. So my bus I would take from Chatham, and it would take me directly to Disney Springs. So it was not too bad. And then in the summer, it would drop off at Typhoon Lagoon first if you worked the day shift. But at night, when I went to work, they were typically already closed. So it was nice. But on the way back, I had to wait at Chatham. Now, Disney are, unfortunately, college program kids are the bus drivers can only drive for so much time on the roads before they go against Florida law. And they have to sit at a bus stop to get their eyes off the road for just a few minutes. But to be honest, for me, it would be easier just to go home and then have them wait at Chatham before they go back to Disney Springs. That would be easier for me, but that's awful. So if you guys do have, if you guys are future college program and are watching the replay and you want to know the app you guys want to use, you're going to use an app called, sorry, let me lower my screen brightness so you can see. You're going to use an app called a Rider. It's that black logo. That's going to be your best friend and will tell you when there are routes. Now, also get the paper version when you guys are starting your programs. That'll help too. You can always highlight the routes that you use most often. It usually helps. So that's my biggest thing there. And Life with Roxana says, OMG, yes, the bus system was absolutely absurd. And for those of you who ever complain about a guest bus taking 45 minutes, I'm sorry, but I've waited an hour and 45 minutes for a bus, and it's not fun when you have worked 10 to 12-hour shifts in clothes that are not very breathable, and you have people stopping you even on your way back from work because they know you're in your cast costume even if you don't have a name tag on, and it's not fun. Like Roxana says, yes, she had to wait till after fireworks. So, okay, so if you're in Magic Kingdom, if you're in a Magic Kingdom location, just be warned, you may wait longer for a bus at night. All right, Tim Pruitt, you are never late, you are always on time. Sorry, D&G Explorers, I'm taking it from you for a minute, but I'm happy you joined in. We are talking about the top 10 things I wish I knew before my Disney College Program experience back in 2016. And if you're not sure, just make sure you change it. Let's see, I'm just saying, everyone's saying hi. Everyone's saying hello. Okay, we're going to go into number 3. And this depends on your roommate situation, but be prepared at some point to write names on your food. Now, I'm going to explain this because some roommates were great about it, some people weren't. I've had a decent roommates where I haven't had this big of an issue, but I have had people that have done this before. They usually eat people's rooms, eat people's stuff in their fridges or in their pantry without their permission and doing it anyways. So a lot of times people will get either a label maker to bring down to your college program to do that, or writing your name with a Sharpie. I did that for some of my pantry things, but I was the only vegetarian in the group, so it was kind of easy. And with fruit, I asked them, just please respect that I have to have fresh fruit in the house, and please don't eat it without having my permission. Like, if they ask really kindly and they just need a couple just to have a dessert for the night, I absolutely, it's not a problem. But it's with my regular everyday food that I do eat, it was a problem. And usually, and I did eat out once every 2 weeks and went to Tempanetto for lunch, which was great. I love it. It was so much fun. Hey, we got the Lim Project here. Hey, Lynn, we are talking top 10 things I wish I knew before my Disney College Program life. James, I was just going to explain this. You read my mind. So James asked, how do you go grocery shopping if you rely on the bus? So there is a bus that goes from all of the complexes, so all 4, even if there's no bus stop. So Patterson even had a bus. And it would take you to either Walmart, which I highly disagree, and for future CPs watching this, please do not shop at Walmart. The weird thing about Florida is that their EBT system does not go out all at once, like a typical EBT system. So I recommend people that if you're in, that it's that way. And then the other stop it'll take you is to Publix, and Publix is a little bit more costly, but for me, I had a better shopping experience. I had a better selection of fruit and veggies for me, which was nice. And they actually had tons of options and made sure they had vegetarian options for practically everything I needed. And my grocery bill was about $60 for maybe 2 or 3 weeks of food, which really wasn't that bad. But this was back in 2016, people, so I don't know. So, exactly. Lynn Project, yes, I am vegetarian. I've been vegetarian since I was 6 years old because I hated the texture of meat after having my tonsil surgery. It was nuts. Everyone saying hi to the Lynn Project. Thanks for stopping in. I know you've been trying to figure out moving, so I appreciate you being here. Rachel Loves Disney says hello. Hello. No worries that you're late. You're always on time. No worries. All right. Number 4 is really important, and I need to make sure that every single person that is a future Disney College Program applicant or somebody who is going to do the Disney College Program needs to know this, and somebody who is a CP alumni that forgot how important this is. Make a chore chart. You have no idea what it's like to have roommates who do not want to clean after themselves. And we forget to put up the rules right in the beginning where everyone's like super excited, really friendly, and really outworking to everyone. So I highly suggest on your first day before you guys give roommate presents to sit down, write the rules, and also divide up chores. Now, if somebody's sick, like my situation, my first month near inspections, I got sick. And my roommates actually took over with helping cleaning my bedrooms. That way I didn't get anyone else sick from that. So that way I could be able to still go to work. So that was awesome. So make a chore chart. Sit down the first day you guys all meet and divide out the chores. I'm telling you, it's life-changing, and Roxana probably could agree with me on that. Chore charts are very important, and it helps people, makes people feel responsible about it. So, yeah. Lynn, you shared with me a giveaway I had no idea about, so that tells me we're already friends, so. But yeah, make a chore chart. That is really important. Yes, Roxana says yes, they help. And they really do. They really do. So any college program, that's the number one thing I do recommend to college programs in terms of housing is have a chore chart. Number 5 on the list is make a budget, and it helps. So a lot of times your college program, are very limited on money due to the amount of money that Disney makes you and how much you pay in rent. Now it changes per season and it gets higher every season. I've never seen it where it drops lower. It may with Vista because Vista's that old, but who knows. Make a budget and get an estimate before your college program of what that would be like. So usually what I do is when you get offered your role and your basic pay. Hey, we got Allie here.
Hello.
Hey.
I braided my hair.
Your hair looks cute.
Thanks. I tried.
So Lynn, I sent it to Lynn to say hello.
Hello, Lynn.
Lynn's here. What did you try to say that I made for me being cheap on my college program?
Lynn spelled my name wrong again.
Oh, Lynn. Her name is Allie. Don't worry, she's not the only. You're not the only person that's had that happen. Am I right?
Right. I get it all the time from teachers, especially.
Yes, teachers especially. So make sure you guys are having for CP. Make sure you guys are making a budget and putting out your role, your pay of your role, the average hours that a CP would get. MGM Family Travels, you would be fairly surprised. I actually had a couple of friends that were male roommates that were actually really good about dividing out the chores. Love you.
Bye, all.
Hey, love you. Good night.
Bye.
We'll see you in the morning.
Yeah.
So basically put out. No worries, Lynn. Lynn said that she's not the best at spelling. The thought is what counts. I agree. So basically do your role. You're going to times that by an average of 30 hours. And when you get your housing applications, which is called dorms, which is the application system you use to put through with college program housing. They will tell you how much a room will cost per week. And if you make that and minus that, you get a basic average of what you're going to be paid every week. So then that way you can kind of make a basic budget on things you do need. So that's highly recommended. I'm going to go back and chat because I'm behind. Lynn says, Caitlin and I have been back and forth between vegan and vegetarian for about 5 years, but I became a pescatarian around a year ago. Yeah, I eat dairy, but I don't eat any fish and seafood or meat. My mom's deadly allergic to shellfish, so we really be careful around seafood, and we try not to because it's kind of dangerous for her anyways. And the texture of meat I don't like, and I don't like the texture of plant-based food. So like soy burgers, veggie burgers, that's just not my thing. I'm just like a pure veggie eater, but I'm not a raw food person, if that makes sense. But I know what you're talking about. Ellie's braid was very cute. She's very good at doing braids, I can tell you that. In college, my roommate was very messy, but now is a surgeon. That's crazy. There were some people in my college program that actually told them that actually all of their roommates worked together, which was really nice. And Lynn, I will try to be there for coffee and contemplation. We'll be traveling in the car, going to visit a family in northern Florida. But it'll be really nice. Alrighty, we are going to go into number 6, and this is something that not everyone can do, but if you can, it would be a miracle. I'm telling you, it'll be a miracle. And number 6 is bring a car. I know that sounds like the most basic thing in the world, but when you have to rely on the Disney College Program buses, having a friend that has a car is so helpful. Even if you do have to help pay for gas money, it saves you like an hour of waiting on a bus, which was fantastic. And you will make tons of friends if you do have a car, and you will help people not get overwhelmed by that. Yeah, it was interesting. So yeah, please bring a car, and if you do have a car and you are offering people rides home, make sure you ask them for gas money. Usually I did, but all my friends were awesome. They're like, we don't want you waiting by the bus. Like, don't worry about this. I'm like, oh, cool. But I usually asked. James says, how many roommates do you have? Okay, housing, you can have up to 8 roommates. But my rooms was a 3-bedroom, 6-person apartment, which meant that there was 2 of us in each room with our own bed, which was so nice. So yeah. Life for Roxana, that's a great thing to add. Meeting up in person the day before check-in at Vista at Disney Springs helps with getting to know your roommates. That's awesome. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah. Meeting up at Disney Springs or at one of the restaurants right by housing, or meeting at one of the Disney property hotels. They're a great way to meet people. I agree. Jenny, this is our first show that she's actually been here for, so hey, Jenny. She's always here during my daytime live streams, but hasn't been here for a night one, so hey, Jenny, nice to see you. So 6 of you share one kitchen. Yes, but not everyone was at home. I had 2 roommates that worked at Magic Kingdom in food and beverage that worked late at night in the ice cream parlor. So typically by the time I was asleep and going to work the next day, they were just coming home from work. So they're different. And one never stayed in our apartment. She had a sister that stayed in a different apartment and was allowed to go back and forth because they're siblings. And then another roommate of mine worked in Animal Kingdom, and her hours were crazy. So we really never got to see each other all at once, which was really nice. So if you had a day off and you wanted to spend the day off at home, typically you wouldn't really have a person at home with you. Maybe your roommate that you stay in your bedroom with, but usually it's not that way. I missed out on all that college experience thing. I had my own house. Lynn, I wish I had my own house on my college program. Honestly, it was so overwhelming for me, and I wish it wasn't that way. I'm going back to college and probably doing apartments when I go back to college because I am older, so that's my thought process. James asked, do you get a few days off each week? Can you use in the parks? Yeah, so if you do get days off, you typically have 2 days off a week. Usually they're not together, so usually they're 2 separate days. Sometimes 3 days if it's like a Sunday, Monday, and a Thursday, but your pay schedule goes from Friday until the upcoming Wednesday, which is really weird. So your days off could be a little strange. But yes, you can go to the parks. I went to the parks even before my shift. A lot of times I would work at 5, 6 o'clock at night and would go through until midnight. So I would go to the parks at rope drop at Epcot, would spend the morning at Epcot, have quick service either at Kasura Grill or at the Chinese quick service before they changed their veggie menu option, or Tempanetto, and then I would watch one show, either the Impressions de France at the time or O Canada, and then I would take a bus to Saratoga and would walk to my program. So yes, you can use in the parks. Some people even do it before their shifts or after their shifts. Roxana says, I had roommate dinner nights a few times during my program. I wish I did. Man, my roommates were not wanting to hang out with each other. That was for sure. There was no major drama, but we were kind of annoyed with each other secretly, but we weren't being mean to each other. Like, I know this is weird, but it's crazy. Anyways, Tim, that might be a possibility. Lynn, go ahead and go and finish it. That's so cool. Like, go ahead and do that. Like I'm going back to school and I'm 24 years old, and it's a lot of people are still like, why are you going back to school? I'm like, because I want to finish what I do. I said, there may be bumps along the way, but you can do that. JLB Nerdy, it is long days, but typically I slept until like about 8 and went to the park shortly after rope opening, so it would usually be like 10, 10:30. So it wasn't that bad, if that made sense. Everyone's saying do it. Yes, it's awesome. Yeah, JLB Nerdy, I got your thing. Okay, we're going to go into number 7. Number 7 is, this kind of goes with the chore chart rule, but make sure you create rules with your roommates, either your roommates in your, when I'm saying about rules about roommates, and making sure you have roommates and that are sleeping with you. Make sure you create rules for each other, so that way you guys are being respectful to each other when others could be sleeping, others could be going to work, etc. I always told everyone on my program, even all 6 of my roommates before I started, and I said, just so you guys know, I'm deaf in 1 ear, so I do have multiple alarms, but for the only reason that most bed shakers don't work for me. And so I told them that this is an option for me to do at this point, and that if you guys have any issues, like, just make sure you guys tell me. Other roommate rules that we had was making sure our phones were only at half volume. They had mine be a little bit louder due to the hearing issue, but they wanted everyone to be respectful of time and that kind of thing. So, Roxana, I had from anywhere from 6 to 14-hour shifts at Disney Springs, but typically your ending time would be around 12:30, if not 1 a.m. Either way, they're kind of interesting. Sometimes it would get an early stock HOH shift right after a closing shift, and I would be like, oh, great, I only get 4 hours of sleep. And those are days where I go back to the apartment and watch Netflix and take a nap, because there are days that are like that. But yeah, make sure you make common courtesy rules with your roommates, especially about the sharing the closets, making sure to share about that, and making sure you guys know who's different. Yeah, Lynn, it's a really big age gap, 6 to 14-hour shifts. Yeah, it's crazy. They work college program kids like a dog, unfortunately. What else is going on? We have number 8, and number 8's a fun topic, and I think Roxana we can all reminisce to this day. Number 8 is traditions is the most magical day you might ever have. And yes, Lynn, I had to share a closet. It actually was a fairly big closet. We also had a locker that we could lock with our like important documents and our laptops and things like that. So I always did that. My roommates we never had any issues with clothes or keeping it clean, honestly, in our own space. My individual roommates that slept with me were amazing. I love them all. The roommates on the other 2 bedrooms were not as great, but we were able to still work it out. But make sure you guys create common courtesy rules for those of you who sleep with you. Traditions is the most magical day you will have. And traditions, for those of you who don't know what traditions is your first official day as a cast member after check-in and all of the magical stuff of check-in. And going to meetings and going to housing meetings where they tell you what to and not bring. Like, only after my program, or like fall of 2015 was the first program that ever allowed lightsabers in the housing complexes. If you are under 21, you can have no source of any kind of alcoholic item, whether it's a shot glass, alcohol, and you could be terminated on the spot for that. And if your roommates had any idea about it and they covered it for you, it's insane. But traditions is basically your first day with the company. They'll share with you values and history of the company, which is awesome. You get to go on a special field trip, and you get to have a special guest that gives you something that's very unique to every single Disney cast member that ever works for the company, whether you are in any part of the company, and including third party. For those of you who don't know, Disney does require cast members who work third party venues, such as Uniqlo, which we got sad news that it might be closing forever, which is so sad. What else is going on? They are required to do, everyone in the company, regardless if you're Disney cast member or third party, you are required to do traditions. And you have to follow Disney look. And we'll go into a whole separate blog, I think, just about Disney look, because it's so complicated and it seems like it changes all the time. But anyways, we're doing really good on time. I'm very proud of myself. Yes, James, the biggest no-nos are boy and girl being in the same apartment. Obviously, that does not work. You are allowed to do certain visiting hours. So my family couldn't visit me at housing until after 7 p.m. And if you were in Disney College Program housing, you were allowed to stay in your friends' apartments until midnight. And if we had any suspicious behavior around, we would have to call that. But yeah, housing is co-ed, but it's girls in all one apartment and boys in another. So there can be boys and girls in the same building, but it's not like they're all in the same apartment, if that makes sense. And there is rules. There's a lot of rules and a lot to explain in a short amount of time. But yes, you have rules. They've changed. I think they've changed the way they do housing now. Under 21 can be booked with over 21, but I don't know how I feel about that. I would ask my Disney person, if I did do it again, to make sure they chose apartments that were free of alcohol, or somewhere in a building that was free of alcohol to begin with, because that's not fun for me to do. Okay, and then we're going to go into number 9. Number 9 is make sure you get to a new location early. Now, what I say about this is a lot of CPs can experience what is called deployments. And deployment is basically, yes, Roxana, that's it. Guests were allowed to visit after 7 a.m. and they have to leave by 7 p.m. And that's somebody who isn't a college program cast member. And Rosanna, am I right about CPs until midnight or 11 p.m.? I'm pretty sure what that is. Or it's 1 a.m. One of the two. I know family can only go after 7 a.m. and leave by 7 p.m., which sucked. I should explain that to get to a new location early. So deployment is basically when Disney are over on your particular home location's hours. They could deploy you to another location for either a week, a couple of days at a time. And when you work in these new locations, you have to find the new costuming. You have to find out where you clock in because every location at Disney is different. Even at my locations, merch was everywhere. It was in a different area every single time. It was never in the same area. So if you ever are going to be deployed, I highly recommend walking the park early, getting your costume ahead of time, so that way you are set and ready to go before your shift, and making sure you check the night before that your Disney is done. Roxanne, I agree with you. Disney actually, my costumes weren't that bad. They were typically the same sizing. But yes, Disney sizing is so confusing. Like, I thought I was like 2 sizes smaller than I usually was because they were so big, and it's so confusing. But then Disney Springs costumes were interesting. I don't know. There was some, I liked my co-op. My co-op costume was the most flattering on me. And then I would go trendy after that, which was a pair of jeans, which was amazing to wear jeans at work. Jeans, they had this like bright orange Mickey top, kind of like bright fluorescent. And then like a black vest. And that was kind of unflattering for me, but it still worked. Like, I wasn't uncomfortable. And then my pins costume, man, that was uncomfortable. It was khaki. It was very thick. My top barely had any breathable fabric in it, and it was awful. A 4 would fit like a 2. I didn't have that issue. I had like a little bit of a bigger. They fit a little bit bigger on me than normal, but maybe that's different. It's different. I know some roles are different than others in terms of sizing, but whatever. So if you go to a new costume, make sure you guys go to costuming early, pick up your costume, and make sure you guys know. You can also ask somebody who's in costuming if they're not sure, or ask another cast member who's in the building of where clock in would be for your particular location, or ask on the Disney College Program alumni page, usually on your Facebook page of your season Facebook. If you ask somebody where's clock in at this location, most likely somebody will know, and they'll let you know where the location of where you're going to clock in is, and get to the park around 45 minutes ahead of time, so that way you can fully navigate through crowds, especially in the parks. Navigate through the crowds and get safely to your location. And Big Disney fan, have a good night. Thank you for being here. And number 10. And Roxana can probably agree with me on this, is that the program does magic for you for how much you put into the program. James, mine was true. Roxana, I don't know if it's true for you. You're going to have to let me know on that with James' comment. We do use that acronym in the cast member community, but yes, I did get paid on Thursdays. Looks like Roxana was also paid on Fridays, but I do know some roles who weren't paid on Thursday, depending on their location. But the program does magic for you for how much you put in. So I wish that I networked, honestly, a lot more in my college program with people that I wanted to work with. I did do a couple classes that Disney offered seminar-based. One of them was hospitality and guest service. They basically had different sections of guest services, whether it was HR, diversity relations, front desk, and the best one was guest relations and a VIP tour guide. And I really wanted to have an in-depth talk with her. But I know that a lot of VIP tour guides have to sign NDAs, basically saying that they can't disclose anything about their job. But I wanted to ask like simple questions like, what things would you have wanted to know if you were a college program? That's what you would wanted to pursue. And she said, and she actually answered that question for me. And she said, although I can't answer this fully, like my answer to you is that let Disney ride you, take you where you want to go. If it's meant for you to be a VIP tour guide and you apply and you get it, like it's meant to be. And it's kind of crazy. So I wish I networked a lot more. I recommend for CPs to do the CPAS classes, which is the College Program Alumni Speaker Series. They basically bring in leaders and sometimes executives of parks or the resorts to come in and to interact with college program alumni like ourselves and kind of help us be in their shoes and let them know that things like this is possible. So they go kind of from every single realm, whether it's guest relations, front desk, housekeeping to custodial. They kind of go all over the board. It's something that you should definitely check up on. Follow Disney College Program on media, and it's really great to have this. The CPAS classes were a big help, and I wrote a lot of notes. Lynn, I'm doing that too, so don't feel bad. I'm going to go back to college just so I can do a DCP. Yep, DCPs are awesome, and Lynn, you would not be, there was actually some older adults that were older than college kids that were doing college programs. So it is possible. And my college program was so fun. And the seminar-based classes that Disney would have was something that I learned so much from. And I took notes diligently during those classes, and they were really nice to have. There were classes that were eligible for college credit, and actually my hospitality guest service, if I wrote a paper on it at the end of the sessions, I would have gotten college credit for it. But my professor wasn't answering my emails, so that's a whole nother story. But that's my top 10 list. And Roxana, I'm going to give you a minute to, if you need something else to add to this list for future CPs that you would want to share with them, things you wish you knew before your college program, I'd really like for you to share your input, and we can put it on the screen for you, because we all can learn from, and it's different for every college program alumni. They usually all have something different to say. I like that, Lynn. That's funny, but you don't have to do that. You can be your beautiful, bubbly self, and you still do fine, because I'm crazy. Other one, I should have done a DCP, but it's a long way. JLB Nerdy, Jenny, I was actually all the way in Minnesota when I was doing this college program. So it was a long way from home. I did flew. Luckily, we were on Southwest, and my mom allowed me to do 3. So yes, James, you can do the college program multiple times. So how this works is you can't have any more than 3 college programs throughout your entire stay with Disney. At that point, you can do that. Now, it's going to apply for Disney professional internships as well. So past holder pair, I don't believe they can do bartending. They could, but it depends on the location. Like usually if it's a resort, it usually could, but it depends. I'm just going to sit here where it's a little bit more comfortable. Life of Roxana, that's great. Bring a cushion for your bed because the mattress is a rock, and that's crazy. That was crazy. I had a memory foam topper. Man, how much I appreciated having that. JLB Nerdy says that's forever away. I'm impressed you're strong enough. Yeah, my mom wanted me to actually do it because she wanted to make sure I could be able to live on my own anyways. And I really stayed apart, and it was so much fun. So, I don't know. But I don't know if she can be a bartender. I think in resorts she could, but I don't remember off the top of my head. What's other things I recommend? Have a notebook handy in your first couple days. So that way you can write stuff down in terms of what's coming up, especially with things like housing meetings and if you're in attractions, if you need to get your drug check. Thank you. I love this Spirit jersey. It's the Pixar ball one. I bought this on my birthday spree with my things that are over there. I have like 4 Forky plush, the little chameleon that was in the Mandalorian from Frozen 2 that would go on fire, but also would put snow on him and he would cool down. Can't remember what it's called. And then I had a figure of Orange Bird I bought along with this. James says, do college program alumni get an inside track to becoming fully fledged cast members? You kind of do. It depends on what you do after your college program. So I've had some people that have transitioned to doing seasonal, which they're slowly trying to get rid of that, which is crazy. Actually, that's what I want to do. They have a program that's called Transfer Genie, and how that works is you have to basically request the role that you want to work in. If you are currently working on that, you can. But a lot of kids try to do an extension of their program, which is what I did. And I got denied for that. Sorry. But yeah. You can, but it kind of depends on where you are in college. If you're already graduated, yeah, most people try to become full-fledged cast members. The really weird thing is that your college program opportunity, the weird thing is that your college program alumni time, even if you have seniority of 3 years, that 6-month time doesn't count towards your overall cast member time. So if you've been there for over a year, but you've only worked for the company outside of the college program for 6 months, you're not getting your 1-year pin until 6 months later. It's very weird, but that's all right. Then and I wanted to show that. I said thank you. I love my Spirit jersey too. I'm in love with this. This is Walt Disney World on the back with the same kind of lettering. Roxana says, bring comfy shoes for traditions. I agree. I would bring comfy shoes your entire time. I honestly think that you need to get orthotic soles in your thing, which is crazy. Roxana, I know it's been harder to get full-time, but I have known some people who worked in like housekeeping or custodial that they was able to go full-time. Usually from what I've heard, you've had to ask your leaders about it. I asked my leader if I had the opportunity to go back, if they would want me to have me come back, and they said yeah. They said they would love to have me back sometime. But that's actually before they've changed the zone now, so I don't know how that's going to go now. But Tim or someone broke the rules at my job, LOL. And for those of you who are ninja watching in the back or not saying things in chat, we are talking DCP. And my future plans is to go back as a college program alumni and do my second program, or doing a Disney professional internship in VIP tour guide or guest relations. That would be my professional internship goal, but if not, I would happily do another college program and then extend it into that 6-month internship in guest relations. I think that would be really fun. And I can apply to honestly tons of different professional internships because it's based on your major in school. So I'm doing my degree in business administration with a minor in journalism. So I can work tons of stuff and crazy stuff. And James, thank you for putting in my my Twitter. It's coming up here there it is. On James on my Twitter at Make It Blue Adventure. Make sure you guys follow me there. I definitely let you guys know when I'm going live on all of my social media, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, my Facebook page, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it to my blog, but I'm not sure how to do that yet. But I will figure that out. And here is my Instagram. Make It Blue a Disney Adventure. If you just type in the end of that, that'll take you right to my Instagram. And I do post. I actually have had a picture from my DCP, so maybe I should share that with you guys. And just to let you know, in about 6 minutes here, Dome with Dad is going live with the Mickey Bunch Kelly. So I want you guys to hop over onto their stream at 6 minutes here, and I will finish what I have to do here. And we're going to use a hashtag that we're going to forever use on his streams to let him know that I sent all of you over. So we're going to use the hashtag, and I'm going to put it in chat, hashtag it's a Blu-ray. I already told them that this is our official statement of how we send people from our live streams. And I wanted to let you guys know of what I have coming up ahead. So I want to thank all of you who's liked my IGTV in the past couple minutes. If you guys want to watch a previous live stream, I was on the Adventures of Gonzo live stream on Tuesday, playing Disney Color Brain, which was actually kind of fun. I had a lot of technical difficulties, but it still was a fun stream. And then tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, I'm going live with all of these ladies. Life with Roxana, Life with Lena, Miss Emily, Miss Eminem, and then myself on Life with Roxana's channel, talking all about Disney and Disney news. So definitely that's what I have coming up. My blog, I'm going to be traveling tomorrow, so I will be writing blog posts on the way down and editing them. Also, I have a few videos I'm filming right now. I'm filming currently my video blog series. I started out with my What is Autism video because a lot of people, the autism world, that caught a lot of traction. I'm going to go through all of my disabilities first and then go into video portions of my blogs that were really popular. So my first one I'm going to make after my disability series is my Changing the World One Video at a Time post, and sharing that with others. And so yeah, I think that's what I have going on. If I have anything else that I share or I'm on a surprise live stream, like it's going to be shared on social media some way, some form. Whether it's through Instagram is the most common. If you guys have any video ideas you guys would love for me to do, or live streams you guys are interested of doing, make sure you guys are hanging out there. And make sure you guys, if you aren't subscribed to this channel, make sure you go and subscribe and hit the like button because we all appreciate you here. You're all unique individuals like myself, and we all deserve to have a platform of sharing the Disney magic, whether you are a cast member, a guest, or every single day. So with that, I'm going to let you guys watch Dad's live stream on Disney Pins Live. Make sure you go check him out also on Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. Now I'm downing myself. Why am I doing that now? I can't figure out the name, but hi Carolyn Life. Nice to see you. There's Dole Whip Dad Stream, Lynn putting the link. Thank you. Make sure you guys support him on DisTube this week on Sunday nights at I believe 9:30 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And make sure you guys are watching My Friend the Limb Project and Dole Whip Dad on Creator Talk on Sunday, also at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you guys are going and hanging out with you guys. I will see you guys in chat in other live streams, and I also have a couple live streams in the works. We're figuring that out now. So as soon as you figure this out, you'll be seeing me on Saturday on A Life with Roxana's channel. So make sure you guys go and see her channel. Make sure you guys turn on the reminder so that you guys can talk with Disney with us. And make sure you use hashtag It's a Blu-ray when you go over to Dole Whip Dad's channel. With that, I'm going to leave you here. Thank you for all my safe travel wishes, and I will see you tomorrow night on Life with Roxana's channel. As cast members once say, have a magical day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.